I'm going to start recording, so let me go ahead and share the screen here with you. Okay, so the idea here is talking about intersecting lines. So when I say intersecting lines, what does that mean? When two things intersect, what does that mean?
Why two things are crossing each other? Like
Crossing. So two things that are crossing each other, okay? So we're talking about intersecting lines, okay? And one thing that we should point out is that when we have two lines, when we have two straight lines that are intersecting, how many times are these lines going to intersect?
once.
Once, yes. So there's never going to be like if they're straight, they're only going to meet once, and there's never going to be a time where they're going to meet again, right? Because it's like it's not a curved line. It's just going to keep on going straight, right? That's what the arrow suggests, that we're just going to keep on going. So we cross one time, okay? I remember a line can be represented by an equation. So if I gave you 3/4 x minus 4, then y is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 6, right? That's two lines, okay? We're representing two lines there. Okay? Now, here's the thing. How do we find the solution to these two lines? Okay? I mean, you think like maybe we could solve the equation, but if you notice, we have both an x and a y there. We have two variables. When we have two variables, it's not as easy to just solve the equation, okay? But here's the thing. Let's look at these in a graph, okay? And if you guys want to go into Desmos, I'll put up the link right now when I put up the video. Let me share this. So you go into Desmos so that you can have the graphing calculator. And again, we'll practice once we're in school, we'll practice more with the actual calculator and how to get that done, right? But let's go ahead and graph our two equations. We're going to have y is equal to 3/4 x minus 4. So you see we have a regular line there, not a big deal, okay? And then we're going to have y is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 6. And we have another line right there. Now, if you notice, again, these two lines meet, okay? Like we said, once they intersect, they meet. And where exactly do they meet? The point there in the middle, 8 and 2. So what does that mean? Okay. Let's go ahead and go back to the whiteboard. So what does that mean for these two things? Okay.
That they're intersecting.
They're intersecting, and they should be intersecting at the point 8 and 2. Okay. So in reality, they're both equal to y. So we can actually set them equal to each other, and that's what represents our intersecting line. 3/4 x minus 4 equals negative 1/2 x plus 6. Okay, so our solution is where they intersect at 8 and 2, our x and y. And so let's go ahead and check that. Let's check that to make sure, okay? So let me go ahead and clear that. And I'm going to start, remember our solution is 8 and 2. So I'm going to start off with y is equal to 3/4 x minus 4. So if I want to check it, what should I do with my solution here, 8 and 2?
Solve the equation.
So how are we going to solve it?
Mx plus b.
So we already have our x and our y because that's where they met up, right? That's where our intersection happened. So if we know what x and y are, all we have to do is just plug them in, right? So I know that x is equal to 8, and I know that y is equal to 2. So let's go ahead and solve it so we can check that, okay? So what's 3/4 times 8? That's the same thing as saying 8 times 3, which is 24, and divided by 4 would give us 6. And 6 minus 4 gives us 2. And so those two are equal to each other, right? 2 is equal to 2. So that means that it's a solution to the first part. Let's go ahead and look at the second equation. Y is equal to -1/2 x plus 6. 8 and 2. So again, we plug them in, 2 and 8 plus 6, right? The same thing. So what's -1/2 times 8? What would be 1/2 of 8? One-half of 8?
4.
4. And since it's negative, -4. And we have -4 plus 6. And what would that give us? -4 plus 6. That gives us a positive 2. So again, what does this tell us? Our two lines, we're going to have a solution where they intersect at 8 and 2. And so let's look at this from the perspective of your homework, okay? So on Delta Math, I have something very, very similar to that. So what we want to do is, again, graph these two, and then we're going to find where they're equal to each other, okay? And that would be our solution. So let's start with y is equal to x plus 7. And again, you can come up here to decimals. So y is equal to x plus 7. And then y is equal to -1/3 x plus 3. So y is equal to -1/3 x plus 3. So if we graph the first one, okay, all I did was use the intercepts. So 7 and -7, and then I graphed it. And then the other one should be, let's see, 9 and 3. 9 and 3. So once you graph it, you can see that the intersection is at -3 and 4. -3 and 4. And we can see right here that it's the same thing. -3 and 4 is where they intersect. So when we come down here, our solution is -3 and 4. I don't know if that's actually how you're supposed to put it in though. Let's see. Yeah, so as a coordinate point, there we go. Inside parentheses. And there we go. The solution is -3 and 4. All right. So should I do one more, or do you guys think you're good with this? Good?